New developments in a story that we've been following since the very beginning. Former Nissan chief Carlos Ghosn filing a $1 billion lawsuit against Nissan and some of its executives after he spent time in a Japanese prison. The lawsuit includes accusations of defamation, theft, fabricating charges, which all led to his arrest back in 2018. Ghosn has repeatedly claimed his innocence, and we have been talking with him throughout the way. Joining me right now in this exclusive interview is the man himself, former Nissan and Renault chairman and CEO, former Mitsubishi chairman as well, Carlos Ghosn. He's the author of the book, Broken Alliances. Carlos, it's good to see you. Thanks very much for being here this morning.
Good morning, Maria.
How are you doing, having been living in Lebanon all of this time? Give us an update.
Look, I've been working very hard from one side in many social works, but from the other side, particularly into preparing for this lawsuit. Because as you know, when I was arrested, they stripped me from every kind of information, access to any data, any documents I had. So it took a long time, but now we have reconstituted the facts and the evidence, allowing me to have a very strong lawsuit against them in Lebanon.
So tell me about the lawsuit. You are specifically suing Nissan and some of the executives there. Walk us through your lawsuit, Carlos.
Well, first, you know, the conspiracy to defraud took place in two countries, Lebanon and in Japan. For obvious reason, I cannot make a complaint in Japan, so I decided to make a complaint in Lebanon. And it started with the violation of my home in Lebanon, where they took a lot of documents without any warrants. And then they transmitted these documents to the prosecutor without any respect for the integrity of these documents. This all starts here. So all the people who participated to that are the object of the lawsuit, as much as Nissan.
So tell me how this came about. You're charging defamation, Carlos, and they obviously trashed you, came up with these charges against you. Where specifically was the defamation, Carlos?
Look, the defamation is all the PR campaign that they have started, which has nothing to do with the charges that have been brought in front of me. And I remind you that the reasons for which I was arrested was non-declaring a compensation that was neither decided nor paid. That's it. That's the charges for which I have been arrested suddenly in Japan. And this has been going with a massive PR campaign trying to denigrate my behavior, my management style, after 20 years at the helm of the company. Obviously, there are a lot of details, a lot of facts, and we think that the judge will be able, in a very neutral way, to see if there was any complicity to defraud me or not.
Well, Carlos, your life has been completely upended, destroyed. You had to move to Lebanon in order for your safety. You had an incredibly stunning escape out of Japan. If you did not escape the way that you did in that music box, I suspect you would still be in jail. Is that right?
Without any doubt. That means I would be in jail probably for the rest of my life, because probably the trials that they were bringing around me would have been very, very lengthy. My lawyers would have estimated that it would take 7 to 10 years to try for all the charges they brought against me. Then it would be knowing the kind of results that they get. You know that the prosecutors in Japan win in 99.4% of the cases. They would have charged you for something, which means that you would have remained the rest of your life in Japan. And I just want to remind that the United Nations has already condemned the hostage justice system in Japan, where if you do not confess to the charges that the prosecutor is bringing around you, they just won't let you go. And that's exactly the strategy they followed against me. Except the fact that I have escaped the Japanese system, and now I'm free to talk and to defend myself, and this is part of my defense.
What an incredible injustice done to you and your family, and also the people who helped you. Mike Taylor and Peter Taylor were extradited to Japan to face charges for helping you in your escape. Can you tell us a little about the torture that you were under? Because I heard from both of those gentlemen, and they told me they've been tortured in a Japanese prison right now. Japan says that it's all for human rights, and yet there are torture going on for people.
Yeah, well, I can confirm everything Mike and Peter told you. In fact, I was able to meet them after they've been freed, spending a couple of years in prison in Japan. I've met them in Beirut, and they told me things I was very familiar with, that I've been through the system for 4 months, but they spent 2 years under the system.
Yeah. And Carlos, real quick, who's going to hear this case before you go? $1 billion suit that you have. Where does this get heard, and what are the chances of success here?
Look, I think this is going to be transmitted to a judge in Lebanon who has been identified. The first hearing is for mid-September. They're going to call witnesses to the court and going to see what's going to happen. Now, it is true that the justice system in Lebanon is very neutral. That means there is no political side to it. So I'm very confident that when they will see the facts and the evidence, they will rule to my favor. But let's see.
Well, that's very good to know. Carlos, it's good to see you doing well. We appreciate your time, and we'll keep a spotlight on it. Carlos Ghosn joining us.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Live in Lebanon.